We've had a very interesting conversation here on Assertiveness, a show that gives ordinary South Africans a space to talk about things that really matter. Today's episode, we have been tackling the idea of fat and sit, and whether or not it is very touchy, or whether or not it's something that we like, or as a matter of fact, it actually, I've read a few articles just now, it's the shift. That's what we're moving to. We no longer are in that era where people feel like, hey, ukhulelwe, makamshade, quick, fast. You know what I mean? People no longer do that because now we understand, as you said, Mtana is not a marriage certificate anymore. It's not a qualification to say, you've now impregnated me, marry me. Men these days are just like, sorry, Utini, you're pregnant, and I'll move on with my life. That's the reality of the times that we live in. Hence why we find single mothers. You know, people have now decided that marriage is not going to keep us together. And that ultimately for me is not necessarily a bad thing. But the reality is that married people are happier than people in relationships. And I'll tell you why. When you're married, it's done. You no longer have to impress. Granted, you want a husband to still stay fresh, your wife must still stay fresh. But when I talk about impressing, it's that thing of I can tell my husband, I'm not going to cook. But a boyfriend who, especially if you are starting to hit 27, 28, 29, you start now thinking, he's going to leave me. I must cook everything. Do you understand? So it is more stressful. Also men, they also stressed because now where am I going to find money for lobola? 5 years I've been dating her. I'm not showing any sign. Men, and I think that's the unfair thing, is that we always make this marriage stress like it's a woman thing. Men also have stress. They worry about ilobola. They worry, is this the right girl? Because sometimes you end up in a spur of the moment, you know, she's pushed you in a corner, and you end up saying, okay, baby, then you wake up and you realize that you've now promised this poor girl that you're going to marry her. Now the stress starts. How do I approach her parents? Will they like me? Because men, we now are in an age where men also have emotions, and they care about how they are seen by, you know, their new family. So there is also that issue with now, will her family like me, you know? But more than anything, we've been having a very robust conversation, and I really enjoyed it because it kind of, you guys are speaking from the truthfulness and deepfulness, that's a word, of what you actually believe in. But I want to ask a question. How do we perceive people who are in fat and sit? In as much as we say half and half, Bali, half and half, we don't judge them. It's my opinion. I don't like it. Let's be honest now. How do we perceive people who are in fat and set relationships? Let's start with girls. How do we perceive the girls?
She's easy.
She's easy.
Yeah.
Are those the words?
Yeah,
easy. We are shut Lisa, as she says.
So
I want to actually support that.
Yeah.
So why must this guy even turn her into a wife?
Yes.
Ultimately, what we're saying is that it's frowned upon to be that girl, because as you said, so trial we fat and set lana. I can't go back home. But also, is it not unfair on OO? Is it not unfair? I'm trying to find the right English word. Is it not so like, where's the English word? I can't find the English word. But it's like an unfair thing because the poor girl, you were fighting and sitting. Your whole family knew that you were fighting and sitting. This guy, I got shady, you guys break up. Going back home is a bit, it's hard, so you understand that? Because it's like now, you couldn't, now it's a thing of she couldn't keep a man. You know, like it's a hurtful as a woman to be in that situation.
It is, but it's fine. You know, Sekaya.
And if anything,
yeah,
where you should go.
Yes, Sekaya. No good thing jumping from no. I mean, yes, you'll talk about it. I'll cry myself to sleep. You know, it'll pass. It'll pass.
And you'll find another one.
Go back home. Even if you give me baby,
yeah.
Go back home.
But also depending on how you were behaving when you
yes,
and how you lived.
Yeah. But still, like, you know, it's Lisa, guys.
It's not a
yeah. Swallow your pride. Lisa, uhlale.
I think the other biggest thing that we as females have is the fact that I suppose we go Lisa, especially to our parents, where we know we've gone wrong. And I know for a fact that before you even need to go, Lisa, oh, mama go akutshela wathi wenzani?
Yeah.
Wenzani? And then once your mom says that, it was a weird house, we're going to reverse, like reversing home. Because ultimately, also, I think we take for granted the blessings that we get from our parents in regards to certain things, you know, especially relationships, because we've got autonomy now. Hey, I know better. Sometimes you might know better than your parents, granted, depending on the situation that you are in. But yeah, if there are no blessings from parents. Okay, so how do we perceive men that do fat and sit? Dora the Explorer. Called other girls.
So you just had to.
No, tell her, how do we perceive men that do fat and sit?
Weak.
Weak. Weak one.
If he's living off the woman.
No, but let's say fat and sit that it's his house. So
Okay.
he's the one who's pushing for the fat and sit. Because ultimately fat and sit is not one.
Men don't care. Not like, but like really. Men don't care. Men don't mind. You can come and live with him if you want to live with him. He won't mind. You're his baby. So what? Now, if I was a man, I would be very happy if a woman would come and fat and sit with me. I'm having her for free. I'm doing everything. Like, she can cook for me if she wants to, but she's there where I want her to be. And she's saving me money, because now I can use my money. Serious. And I can use my money. I'm like, baby, we're buying a house.
Yeah.
Oh, baby, we're buying a car. Actually, the car is mine. It's under my name. I just told her we're buying, but it's mine. I just saved the money that I was going to use for her.
Not so clever girls, ne? If you were a guy. Because if you say to me, baby, we're buying a car, ngiyenza copy ID yami, Jana, I'll be ready
So
with all my
Panis.
documents. And say, come up here, let's go. We're going together. Yeah?
So tell me what, keep malin.
Eh? But to say sithenga imoto. Kanti
No,
angasazi
it's just
ukuthi-
bluffing. He's just bluffing.
I guess it's
Yeah, so it's saying you're saying imoto, baby, ufuna ukungikhapha. Because that's ultimately what you were saying.
Probably.
So, but let's get, you said that men don't care. So men who do fat and sits are not too worried, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
For
not
them,
really.
it's a free ride, as you said in the original.
Not all of them. There are those who are doing it to a point where Uguti, okay, maybe he's just trying to save. Like you said, there are situations whereby it happens, Uguti, male in fat and set. So it happens they are doing it. So then at that time, he's probably fixing things. They're probably, at some point, they will get married. There's no problem with that.
A study has actually been done that shows that people who do fat and sit before they get married will always end up in divorce. Because, look, think about it this way. And I had an experience like this when I was in primary school. I had a friend who were great friends. But she was a day scholar and I lived in boarding school. Then she moved to boarding school. Oh my gosh. You actually get to know the person.
Yes.
And she irritated me. And I still loved her, but there were just things about her that I couldn't take. She used to whine about things that you really can just keep quiet about. Like, you don't need to whine about that, you know. And we actually we separated, or we moved into different directions solely because of the fact that she actually moved to boarding school, and I couldn't stand her as a person. And that's the problem with fat and sit, is that you move in with Theodore, and then you realize with yes, unuga inyao. Oh, exactly. Toothpaste ivulekile. Oh, in this day and age, there are men who are so clean. So clean.
And
Like,
I'm the pig.
and you are the... imagine why he's being... Like, what? He's going to say big and tidy. You mean pig? You went there. But it does happen that men of these days are very clean. And you're dating a man who's very clean. And then you go to sleep... And then he's looking at you like, do women not trap themselves, is what I'm trying to ask. Do we not trap ourselves by spotting and sitting with these men, and then they find out our truth, our true colors?
It's shocking. To a certain point, you do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not even the fact that maybe we are untidy. Sometimes the mere fact that you guys, to be honest,
Yeah.
like I remember I dated somebody who expected me to bring him food on a tray. And that's what he was used to. That's what his mom did, that's what his sisters do at home. Mom, let's look good, let's on a tray.
Yeah.
Me now just trying. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So now what must happen now? But those are
There's
things that
compromise.
irritate him. See, now that's the question. Do we now start compromising while we're still boyfriend and girlfriend? Or should we rather compromise because so shut it out, so not choice?
Well, at least if you are living together, me girlfriend and boyfriend, as compromise again because I'm sure we want to take this thing further.
But why are you making me compromise when you're still just a boyfriend?
That's clearly a man.
No, but I guess when we get married, you have to get to a point where you're saying, Theodore leaves the toilet seat up. Theodore leaves the toothpaste cap up. Despite how many times you tell him, he just
He'll
does
do it.
not. So it's fine. Because compromise for me is suppressing more than anything.
Well, if unjalo, hey, girl.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, if unjalo, if when you are willing ukushada naye, wazi ukuthi wenza lezi zinto lezo, then go for it.
Because the situation might be that you're willing to live with someone who doesn't put the toilet seat down, who doesn't wash the dishes, because that's the situation that you're in right now. So you're tolerating it.
Yeah, that's
But now you start thinking, do I really want to get married to this person? Yeah, but if I said for me is a lot of exposure. Now you start exposing each other. So it could either be a good thing because then you know you're not marrying somebody that you really are not compatible to.
yeah.
Or it could be bad in the fact that we as exposer, the small things now are gonna start irritating him early. Because I can tell you right now, people who get married, after 5 years, there are certain things that get to each other's nerves. And you're just like, oh, because the honeymoon stage ends. It's not a relationship. Honeymoon stage starts to end, and you're just like, oh, you wake up one day, you just think, long to young
Just tolerate that guy.
Yes, you start to tolerate. But now, obviously, in marriage, it's not like the tolerate. You cannot just tolerate. It wasn't be intolerant and just let it go. In marriage, you have to sort it out.
Yeah.
But in relationships, it's just the thing would
take it.
oh my God, can you just get out of my life? You know? So so I don't know. I don't know what this fat and sit thing, whether it's right or wrong.
I feel like our generation, like generational, it's off. In the sense, like we're gonna this fat and set thing. Now I just think, like when you do fat and set at a young age, when you know, or even fat and set, even when you know you are like 30 years old and stuff like that. In our generation, when you know, like Nicolette mentioned earlier on, when you know you're busy and everything. Now, would you rather be scared of the unknown than to know the known? Rather, every day, instead of you not knowing where that person is, what will eat you more?
But that's your insecurity.
No.
That's an insecurity issue now.
That's different. See,
In our generation, that's how it is right now because it was that thing of men not doing this. Nowadays, ladies are competing with men in a case of cheating. So insecurity falls both ways. No, it's a reality. It falls both. Like she said now, men are growing emotions. Men realize what
You guys are catching feelings now.
Yes, because it's coming
Why
on
are you
our
catching
side now,
feelings?
which is wrong. And now it's very scary. So the best thing to do is just,
Fat and set.
you do that. And then now you get ladies who say, oh no, men who do that, they are 1, 2, 3, they're weak, and so forth. I don't really see them as weak. Okay, fine, it's your opinion.
You're insecure.
No.
You're saying you're fat and set me because you don't know what I'm
No.
doing when I'm not at your house.
But I'd rather have you there every night, knowing even though you go and cheat.
Yeah.
You go and cheat and you know you come back. Instead of you going to
As
cheat
long
and
as
I
I
don't
sleep
even
in
know
your
where.
bed at night.
Exactly, she's coming back.
Daytime friends and nighttime lovers. Only no one else
So, like,
discovers what they do
This thing of how
in
men
the
are
daytime. What are we doing in the daytime? That's the question. So I'm cheating during the daytime.
Midnight you sleep with
But
him.
it's rather no, it happens.
it happens, fine.
Sounds like it's
And you
from
will never
experience.
know.
Yeah.
And you will never know, trust me. Sometimes you just never know. You just think, well, that person's gonna come to you. And you think, well, they're doing nothing. Now imagine now you find out that they've been cheating. But you don't know their whereabouts.
So it's better to stay too.
Yes.
Who says you're gonna know my whereabouts if we are staying together?
No, I'm not saying we're gonna know the whereabouts.
He says
Ah,
it's better.
As long as
like with me now, I feel like it's always been that thing of when I get married, my lady has to be home at 12 o'clock. Me, I also have to be home at 12 o'clock. That's
Is this thing that you are pushing for to say, good, as long as he sleeps next to me every day because of, I don't know what she's doing during the day, is that not what's pushing married people to cheat? Because married people cheat during the day and then at night they're sleeping with their husbands and their wives.
Married people are married people.
But we're not worried about the brand.
Married people are married people. They're on another level on their own. So, like, now I just feel like for men, like, and ladies, there's nothing wrong. You can't say a man is weak. You can't say a lady is easy because of fact and said. Sometimes you're just excited. You want to be with that person. You can't control your excitement. You just want to be with that person.
You don't move out after a week.
Yeah, you don't move out after a week. So you stay with that person. And then, who knows, maybe at a later stage you guys do end up getting married. It's not always the case that when you do fat and sad, you guys are not going to get married. Sometimes you are actually going to get married at the end of the day.
Guys, we've unfortunately reached the end of our episode. It's been such a cute, I want to say cute, but most exciting episode we've done. We've had so much laughs. It's been really, really lots of fun. Final sayings. What are you saying to people who do fat and set? In one sentence, what is your final wording to them? Parting words.
Do what makes you feel fine.
Finally, we agree.
So we finally got you to agree.
I guess so.
Yeah, like what she said now, I feel like do what you have to do. No one's going to judge you. Even if they do, don't care what they say. As long as you know at the end of the day, you're happy.
Perfect. Sizimbali?
Don't settle.
Don't settle. Fat and set settling? No, we're not going to get into that.
Don't settle.
Another episode. Guys, thank you so much for coming through and sharing your thoughts and what you believe Fat and Set to be. It's been really a great episode. I really appreciate it. And I know that everybody out there also appreciates what you guys have shared. Guys at home, once again, thank you so much for always watching. And by the way, for always saying hello on Facebook and hello on Twitter. We really appreciate that. Do join the conversation. On Facebook, it is Assertiveness, and on Twitter, it is Assertiveness TV. You can also speak to me on my personal Twitter page, is at I am Coco Mesh, or on Facebook, it's Nicolette Mashile. But what I've taken out from today is clear as daylight. There is no manual. There is no book. There's no guideline to how we're supposed to do this life thing. This life thing is tricky as it is. So don't go out there and try and be what your mother was or what your father was in the past. That was their time. This is our time. So live, damn it.
It's our time to shine.
It's our time to shine. And if anything, please stay assertive. Because if you're not, you really can't sit with us.